You're now watching Qnews. Here are the top stories for this hour. We start off with Egyptian sources revealing that mediators have reached an agreement to release all Palestinian detainees, a process initially scheduled for last week. The release of the detainees will coincide with the return of the bodies of 4 Israeli detainees, all supervised by Egypt. Hamas has stated that the release of the 7th batch of Palestinian detainees will coincide with the return of the bodies of Israeli detainees, as well as the release of Palestinian women and children. They added that the release will follow a new mechanism to ensure the commitment of Israel to its implementation, with the timing of the exchange announcement to come at an appropriate moment. Hamas also mentioned that no proposal has been presented regarding the second phase, despite their readiness and willingness to proceed with all stages of the agreement. Israel has reached an agreement with mediators for the return of the bodies of 4 Israeli detainees held in Gaza. When asked if such a deal had been reached, the spokesman of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office responded with yes, but did not provide any immediate details. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has expressed hope that the upcoming Arab summit in Cairo will contribute to resolving the Gaza crisis. During a press conference after meeting with Qatar's Emir, Lavrov warned that the displacement of Palestinians would turn the region into a ticking time bomb and undermine the two-state solution. He also criticized Israel for violating agreements with Lebanon, Hamas, and expressed concerns about European interference in Ukraine's negotiations. The Jerusalem governorate has warned of an impending escalation by Israeli occupation forces as the holy month of Ramadan approaches. In a statement, the governorate stated that the Israeli authorities intend to impose a series of provocative and discriminatory measures against Al-Aqsa Mosque during Ramadan. The governorate called for the lifting of restrictive measures and the guarantee of freedom of worship in Al-Aqsa Mosque. Syrian interim president Ahmad al-Shara has arrived in Jordan, where he was received by King Abdullah II. Al-Shara leader will hold talks with King Abdullah II to discuss strengthening the ties between the neighboring countries. Al-Shara is also expected to engage in wide-ranging discussions on border security and ways to expand commercial relations. This visit marks the interim president's 3rd foreign trip, following visits to Saudi Arabia and Turkey since assuming power. The King of Jordan has reaffirmed his country's support for Syria's reconstruction efforts, emphasizing the importance of a political process that includes all Syrian factions. He emphasized the importance of ensuring Syria's unity, security, and stability. King Abdullah also underscored the significance of coordinating with Damascus to address border security challenges, facilitate the voluntary and safe return of Syrian refugees, and reaffirmed Jordan's commitment to Syria's sovereignty and territorial integrity. Ukraine and the United States have prepared a draft agreement that would give Washington access to Kyiv's rare earth minerals in exchange for unspecified security guarantees. Ukrainian Prime Minister Denis Shmyhal had stated that the U.S. government supports Ukraine's efforts to secure necessary security guarantees for lasting peace. This comes after a week of tensions as U.S. President Donald Trump sparked outrage in Ukraine and Europe by proposing a deal that would use Ukraine's mineral wealth to repay the U.S. for military aid. The proposal was outrightly rejected by Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has announced that Russian and U.S. delegations will meet in Istanbul on February 27th to discuss restoring the operations of their respective diplomatic missions. Moscow has had no ambassador in Washington since the previous envoy, Anatoly Antov, who left his post last October. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio stated that high-level teams would work on restoring the country's diplomatic missions in Washington and Moscow as part of negotiations aimed at ending the conflict in Ukraine. This concludes our top stories for this hour. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more updates here on Q News.